The afternoon sun filtered through the caf windows as Marcus Chen sat across from his girlfriend of 2 years, watching her fidget with her coffee cup. At 29, Marcus worked as a social worker at a community center, barely making enough to cover his modest apartment and student loans. But he loved his work, helping families navigate crisis situations and connecting people with resources they desperately needed. His girlfriend, Vanessa, had been growing increasingly distant over the past months. Today, she had asked to meet, and Marcus knew from her expression that this conversation would not go well. "Marcus, I need to be honest with you," Vanessa began, not meeting his eyes. "This is not working anymore." "What is not working?" Marcus asked, though he suspected he knew the answer. "Us. This relationship. I am almost 30 years old, and I need to think about my future, about stability, about the kind of life I want to have." Vanessa finally looked at him. "You are a wonderful person. You care so deeply about helping others. But Marcus, you make $38,000 a year. You drive a 15-year-old car. You live in a studio apartment. I cannot build a future on that." Marcus felt the words like physical blows. "So you are ending this because I am not wealthy enough?" "I am ending this because I deserve someone who can provide the life I want. Someone ambitious. Someone who values success." Vanessa stood, her decision clearly already made. "I am sorry, Marcus. You are a good person, but good is not enough." She left before Marcus could respond, leaving him sitting alone with his coffee. 3 months later, Marcus threw himself into his work, trying to forget how it felt to be deemed insufficient because he had chosen meaningful work over money. "Her name is Catherine Morrison," his supervisor explained. "She wants to contribute to our emergency assistance fund, but wants to understand our operations first. I need you to show her around, explain what we do, make a good impression." Marcus agreed, expecting some wealthy society woman doing charity work for tax benefits or social status. He was prepared to be professional, but not particularly warm. The woman who arrived at the community center did not match his expectations. Catherine Morrison was perhaps 55, dressed elegantly, but not ostentatiously. She listened to his presentation about their programs with genuine interest and intelligent questions. "You clearly care about this work," Catherine observed, as Marcus showed her the Family Resource Center. "How long have you been doing this?" 6 years. "Since I finished my MUS." Marcus smiled despite his cynicism about wealthy donors. "It does not pay well, but it matters. We help people when they have nowhere else to turn. That is valuable work," Catherine said, "more valuable than most people realize." Over the following weeks, Catherine became a regular presence at the community center, not just donating money but volunteering time, getting to know the families they served, and asking thoughtful questions about systemic issues. "I want to tell you something," she said once they were settled at a quiet cafe. "But first, I need you to understand that everything I have told you about why I care about this work is true. My motivations are genuine," Marcus said, uncertain where this was going. "I am not just Catherine Morrison, donor. I am Catherine Morrison, CEO of Morrison Financial Group. My company manages assets worth about $4 billion. She paused. "I am a billionaire, Marcus. But more importantly for this conversation, I have a daughter. Her name is Vanessa." Marcus felt the air leave his lungs. "Vanessa Morrison?" "She goes by Vanessa Martin professionally. Uses her father's name." Catherine looked at him carefully. "She told me about you, about the relationship that ended 3 months ago. She said she broke up with her boyfriend because he lacked ambition and success. She did not mention your name, but when I met you and heard about your work, I had my assistant do some research. You are the man she left, are not you?" "Yes," Marcus said quietly. "She told me I was not wealthy enough to build a future with." Catherine's expression turned sad. "I am so sorry. I raised her with everything money could buy, but somewhere along the way, I failed to teach her what actually matters. When she told me about ending the relationship, I asked if she loved you. She said love was not enough without financial security. I told her she was making a terrible mistake." "Why are you telling me this?" Marcus asked, Because I have spent the last month watching you work. You are kind to everyone regardless of their circumstances. You fight for families who have nothing. You make $38,000 a year, and you are richer in character than most millionaires I know. Catherine met his eyes. I want to offer you something, but I need you to understand it has nothing to do with Vanessa. This is about recognizing exceptional talent. She slid a folder across the table. I am launching a foundation focused on poverty alleviation and family services. I need someone to direct it, someone who understands the issues from the ground level, who has actually done the work, who cares about impact over prestige. The salary is $200,000 a year, with full benefits and a budget of $10 million annually to distribute to programs you identify as effective. I want you to run it. Marcus stared at the folder. You are offering me a job that pays 5 times my current salary to do work I'm already passionate about. Yes, because you are extraordinarily good at it, and because good people who actually understand poverty should be the ones directing resources to fight it, not consultants who have never lived it. Catherine leaned forward. This has nothing to do with my daughter. If you want the job, you will never have to interact with her. This is about me recognizing that you are exactly the person this foundation needs. Marcus took the job. Within a year, he had built the Morrison Foundation into one of the most effective poverty-fighting organizations in the state, directing resources to programs that actually worked rather than those that simply looked good in annual reports. He deliberately avoided social situations where he might encounter Vanessa, focusing entirely on his work. But 18 months after accepting the position, he was invited to speak at a charity gala about the foundation's impact. Vanessa was there. She approached him after his speech, her expression complicated. Marcus, I heard you were working for my mother's foundation. I did not realize. She paused. You look well. I am well, Marcus said neutrally. The work is fulfilling. I made a mistake, Vanessa said suddenly. When I ended things, I have been dating someone my mother approves of. He is wealthy, successful, ambitious, and I am miserable. He cares more about status than people. He treats service workers like they are invisible. He is everything I thought I wanted, and I realize now that what I actually wanted was you. Marcus looked at the woman he had once loved and felt nothing but sadness for who she had become. Vanessa, appreciate the apology, but I do not think you miss me. I think you miss the idea of someone who loved you without considering your bank account. The problem is, you never loved me the same way. You saw my salary as a deficit rather than seeing my work as valuable. I have changed, Vanessa insisted. Maybe. But I have changed too. I'm not the same person who sat in a cafe 3 years ago and listened to someone tell me I was not good enough because I chose meaningful work over money. That person felt worthless. Now I owe my value, and it has nothing to do with my income. He gestured to the room full of donors and community advocates. Your mother taught me something important. She is worth billions, but she spends her time and money fighting for people who have nothing. She measures success by impact, not accumulation. That is the kind of wealth that matters. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. So there is no chance for us? No, Marcus said gently. Not because I am trying to punish you, but because I deserve someone who values what I value. You were right about one thing: we could not build a future together. But it was not because I lacked money. It was because we have completely different definitions of what makes life worthwhile. 5 years after Vanessa had left him for being poor, Marcus stood at a podium accepting an award for the Morrison Foundation's poverty reduction work. Catherine was in the audience, beaming with pride. In his acceptance speech, Marcus said, 5 years ago, someone told me I lacked ambition because I chose social work over a high-paying career. They were wrong. I was ambitious, just not for money. I was ambitious about making a difference, about helping families survive crisis, about building systems that actually work for people in need. That ambition led me here, to work that matters, more than any salary ever could. He looked at Catherine. Thank you to Catherine Morrison, who saw value in work that others dismiss as lacking ambition, who understood that fighting poverty requires people who have actually experienced it or worked in it, not just wealthy donors observing from a distance. who taught me that real wealth is measured in lives changed, not dollars accumulated. After the ceremony, Catherine hugged him. I am so proud of you, and I am so sorry my daughter could not see what I saw that you were already successful in. All the ways that actually matter. She taught me something valuable, Marcus said. She taught me to never again accept someone who sees my choices as deficits. The right person will understand that choosing meaning over money is not failure, it is integrity.